I'm talking to my first semester student ni. And then you nak pergi praktikal dah ni. Dah tua dah maksudnya. You are the senior and it comes to the junior executive. When you enter the new world of the practicum, your title is junior executive. You change to the senior to the junior again. Okay. So bila you dah kerja 5 years, 10 years, so change the title to the senior executive. Okay, now you are senior lagi ni. Okay, before the practicum ni, you change to junior balik. Ubah jadi muda balik. Your title, your position lah. Alright, boleh nampak slide saya? Okay, right. So, briefing is very brief. So, slide saya about graduation because after practical, you're going to graduate. Okay, virtual ke, tak virtual ke, at least you completed your degree for 3.5 years. Lama tu, 3.5 years, 3 tahun dekat UUM. So many memories, so many frustration, so many enjoyment, so many happiness, making new friend, kan? Ada banyak kawan, buat kawan, so many things. So 3 years untuk semester yang last kali you go for practicum. So practicum, in my briefing, I will focus on the report. Okay, ini secara okay, so you about going for the graduation lah. Ada lagi 4 bulan dah. 4 bulan ni, 4 bulan praktikal dan after this you go for convocation. Ya Allah, Alhamdulillah, luckily I completed my degree kan. So, before that, okay, before you ambil you punya scroll, before you ambil everything's on the graduation, you have to complete the practicum. So, this is mark for practicum. Okay, marks distribution for practicum. So, dia ada 3 section. Okay, 3 section. Satu is accumulatedly dia ada 100%. So 60% belongs to employer, the company. Okay, ini dalam report ni. Ini not in the report. This is whole documentation of the practical punya documentation. Practical documentation dia ada logbook, dia ada attendance, dia ada employee supervision evaluation, dia ada report for lecturer to marks. And there are the section of visiting supervisor. We don't have the visiting supervisor, but the lecturer, me or Madam Nurul, will call the company because of the COVID lah. Yeah. So we have 3 section untuk distribution untuk documentation practicum. So when it comes to the documentation practicum, dia bukan saja report lah maksudnya. Dia ada ni lah yang saya kata ni. Okay. Attendance tadi, attendance untuk attendance pun dia ada. Okay, ada yang tadi, that's why I ask you to scan because you consider, you listen to the briefing, you understand the term and condition of the practicum. Okay, employer bagi 60%, banyak tu. So you kena panggil baik-baik dekat company. Dia adalah 60% daripada markah keseluruhan. Saya bagi 40% je. Okay, 30% je saya. Okay, 30% saya dan another 10% for visiting supervisor. Okay, so you kena perangai baik-baik because half of your marks is goes to your boss, your supervisor, your company supervisor, your employer. So, let's say kalau dia nak suruh tulis logbook every day, then tulis sajalah. Tak payah nak cakap banyak because the mark is given by them. Okay, 60% consists of evaluation 40%. Evaluation form to class, dia ada quite many pages. Dia ada your skill, dia ada knowledge on company background, dia ada knowledge on the respective project, your progress, so many rubric lah. That goes to the 40%. Panjang lah, that's why 40% tu. So they counted on the many element on your presentation during the practicum. Ada banyak. Okay. So logbook usually media technology student dia tulis every day because every day is a improvement. If you found one article, then you tulis I found one article or related to the graphic design ke whatsoever because if you didn't write in daily punya basis, so look like you don't have improvement on every day. So better you tulis one paragraph, two paragraph every day, reporting on the age of your project progress. Okay, and attendance. Attendance during practicum lah. If you have ada MC, ada public holiday, itu tak apa, itu consider penuh lah. Okay, attendance masa company punya workday. Okay, public holiday ke whatever tu kita consider penuh. Alright. So final report is look dia semacam lebih kurang your thesis. Okay, ada introduction 5 markah. Okay, about 2 pages introduction. Jangan 1 paragraph. Okay. Okay, saya besarkan sikit. Mungkin you nampak tak dia punya yang saya paste ni. So this is kita punya borang permarkahan. Scoring board. This is our scoring board. Okay, lebih kurang macam ni lah. This is employee supervisor, visitor report, introduction. Okay, company background. Company background cerita. You tulis lah ni kelas yang saya cakap ni, you tulis lah. Because you nak pergi dekat practicum saya, you tulis. Company background cerita lah, location, struktur organisasi, vision, mission, strategi. Apa lagi? Produk yang dia buat, services yang dia offer. Anything on the company background. Janganlah cerita location saja. Kat mana nak dapat 10 markahnya? So ceritalah apa yang dia offer. What ada planning, ada apa progress dia, what ada award achievement yang dia dapat. Because some of you, I believe you have entitled for the good company. So good company they have their planning, they have the current project, they have achievement. So cerita dalam company background. So that bila saya baca company background, I can relate your company background with your project. Because throughout the previous student, company background satu muka surat saja nak cerita. Buat satu muka surat. Okay, dah lah double space kan. So cerita everything's on the achievement, latest news, current news. Okay, this one I will explain on the next slide. Okay, alright. You can tanya terus if you have any doubt. Okay, aspect of the issue of the study, nak study tentang apa. Alright. What are your project, analysis and discussion. 30 markah ni banyak ni. Okay, 30 markah banyak. So your pages and content kena banyak lah. Analysis and discussion. Suggestions, summary, okay, format and presentations, and student characters. Student character ni maksudnya you rajin tak hantar untuk saya edit. You communicate tak dengan supervisor, oh saya nak buat ini, saya nak buat ni. So supervisor dia akan noted kalau student-student yang rajin untuk edit ke, tanya soalan related to the practicum lah. Jangan tak ada practicum, ini bukan psychologist punya ni. Alright, so related to practicum. Alright, so ini goes to the 50 marks punya markah. Alright, later saya akan brief detail of each ni. Okay, and visiting supervisor. Me, I will call your company supervisor. Explain, tanya macam mana perangai you, berapa persen yang dia boleh bagi out of 10, whether dia boleh bagi 1%, 2% or 20% per. So that depends on the supervisor punya supervisor, UUN supervisor and the company supervisor. Okay, 10% tu. Alright. Okay. This is proposal. Because before you start doing your report on the project, okay, because final report kan, final report is about project lah mainly, right? So before you start your report, okay, you have to have a proposal, okay? Proposal produced by student, explain about the future project in the organization. Your future project with the organization. Okay, maksudnya projek tu you akan run throughout the practicum punya time frame. Okay, your future project. I believe that when your company assign you to join the company, so they have already assigned you certain project. So in your proposal stated the project in details tentang apa, if you working on the campaign, what are the campaign, apa segmentation dia, what are the target dia, apa budget dia, anything on the project. So somehow kita panggil project management lah, okay, in your proposal. Okay. However, the requirement of the proposal based on the supervisor, UUM punya supervisor, lecturers and the employers punya agreement. So employer dah setuju, tanya supervisor setuju ke tak, because sometimes they hire you on the financial, saya tak reti financial, saya tak setuju. Kan, for example, if you your employers assign you to the certain project on the multimedia punya, the pure multimedia ni lah. Sebab saya tak reti on the pure multimedia, so saya tak setuju. Bagaimana saya nak makin, nak relate to the media technology punya aspek. So you have to get agreement on the both supervisor, lecturer and then juga employers. Okay, alright. So before that you discuss lah with your report supervisor, so maksudnya lecturer saya lah, or Medan Nurin or any lecturers on media technology. Determine project-project yang suitable project for your program. Okay, so my advice, kalau you are on the broadcasting students, so you try to relate project given by employers on the broadcasting punya, so that you boleh buat, kan? If they ask you to do campaign, but you are on the broadcasting student, you do campaign on the video punya campaign. You propose lah, you propose pada mereka. I believe that they are very flexible because when you come up with the video for the company juga. So you try to relate that. If you are on the journalism and suddenly they assign you to do a video, okay, video through apps boleh, tapi you need to have the skills as well, the knowledge. So you relate lah, maybe the video on the producing video, you relate with the content or the copywriting because you are the journalism student. So begitulah kita relate kan. Okay, because most of the previous issue dia kata the employer assign dia untuk buat broadcasting sedangkan di journalism. So you relate lah your knowledge on the copywriting, on the content creator, on the content punya ni relate dengan the video punya for the company. So gitulah kita relate-nya, right? And then 2 weeks once you enter, if I'm not mistake, berapa hari bulan tadi Tuan Zam cakap, so about 2 weeks you reporting from the company, you kena hantar the proposal pada lecturer. Okay, nak tengok lengkap ke tidak proposal you ni. Okay, so proposal tu kena clear nak buat apa, tentang apa duration dia. Okay, semacam you nak buat business plan lah. Kan business plan kan dia ada in that certain project they have vision, duration, budget. If you work out with the video on siapa dia punya informant dia, so semacam dia punya business plan. Business plan kan kita ada the tajuk-tajuk pengisian the content in that business plan. Okay, so begitulah you punya proposal kena ada all the information. Alright, kat mana nak cari contoh-contoh business plan? Mr. Google lambat-lambat kan. So you boleh cari the title related to the project management, dan you letak isi pengisian the company punya project in that tajuk. Okay, maksimum nama 10 pages saja, tak perlu banyak pun. Okay. And then ada appendix, if you have appendix on the related budget ke, dia punya market survey ke, sebenarnya you can letak dalam you punya proposal. Alright, that's proposal. 2 weeks before you masuk, you jangan nak berlengah-lengah. 2 weeks you have to submit your proposal. Okay, right. Jangan nak cakap, oh saya baru dulu, do nothing, so no. In this case, you have to submit proposal about 10 pages on the future project. Future project ni maksudnya content nanti later akan letak dalam you punya final report tu. Okay, and your future project ni should be dengan media teknologi punya lah. Alright, janganlah pure animation. For example, animation on media juga kan. So janganlah pure animation, should be animation with the media and communication aspect lah. So that kita boleh relate lah. You are under the media technology roof. Okay. Okay, ni biasa. Okay, introduction, objective of internship. Okay, introduction. Okay, company background, so cerita yang saya kata tadi lah ya, company background. Goal and objective of internship, you kena cari literature. Okay. Kita boleh cakap to gain knowledge, boleh dapat kawan-kawan, boleh cari future husband, boleh cari future wife, boleh cari whatsoever. Okay, we can say, but you have to rely on the literature. So this part you kena ada literature. Apa dah goal and objective of your internship? Because I believe literature pun cakap benda yang sama, kan? Boleh dapat kawan baru, gain knowledge. This is a prestige of the real job, kan? So that kind of information, goals and objective of internship kena cari dalam literature. So kena refer pada literature. That's why you ada references. You ada references because you are referring to the current punya literature. You jangan nak copy you punya kawan punya literature because bila makin ni dia asyik mengcopy saja orang lain punya literature review on internship. So cari sendiri on the latest. Latest ni maksudnya macam mana? Kelas. Latest ni 5 year duration 5 years. So sekarang ni 2021, your literature, you punya reading mestilah lebih kurang tahun 2016. 16, 17, 18, 16, 17, 18, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 2017. So duration 5 years, dan kita kata latest references. So, because internship dulu dengan sekarang lain. Kan dulu dengan sekarang lain dia punya goal objective tu. Mungkin sekarang they are focusing on the digitalization relationship for example. Okay. Dulu tak ada digital, so you have to find the current punya propose project. Okay, description of your job kerja you apa peranan you dekat sana. Okay, designer ke, content creator ke, marketers ke, sales representative ke,okranik administration ke. So cerita. So even you are administration, they have listed job kan nak align dengan human resources. Dia ada list out dia punya job scope tu. If you are on the marketers, dia ada apa job scope on the marketers punya. Dia tak akan pergi ke financial, mungkin dia related to the sales or maybe dia related to the advertising. So list out the scope tu. Okay, propose project and the summary of all your project. Okay, references pendek lah. Alright. Now final report. Final report ni memang requirement because lecturer, supervisor dekat UEM report punya supervisor akan makin report. Kita akan makin report. Other than your employers akan fokus on your performance, your practical punya aspek. So we are focusing on the report. Report is considered 30%. Another 10% for the visiting supervisor. Okay. Ada define specification. The report should include project research and experience during internship or industrial training ataupun practical sama lah. Okay, akan direport oleh lecturers. Okay, so the time frame for the report submission dia semacam thesis lah, dia ada tidak lengkap kan, dia ada submission of that form tu. Okay. So kita lebih fleksibel lah because kita tahu kalau you nak selamat, sambil-sambil you do your works dekat company, you dah buat siap-siap report. Okay, when it comes to the habis practicum, you dah submit report you. So you tak perlu nak submit goes to the next stage on the incomplete grade. Okay, you tak perlu nak isi borang untuk tidak lengkap, borang tak lengkap satu, borang tak lengkap. So you tak perlu dah nak tu, so selamat. Right? Masa buat practicum, you kena buat siap-siap report. Okay? So, kita bagi flexible time because I believe some of you tu habis awal. Some of you tu habis lambat. Even you habis awal ke kelas, even you finish earlier or you extend your practicum. But you have to follow official dates stated given by SUIC. Because some student company assign dia untuk masuk lambat. Kan? Some student kena assign dia kena masuk awal. Whatsoever early ke lambat, you have to follow the official date stated dalam CIC punya. Because why? Because kita ada order TL1, TL2 and marks distribution. Kita kena follow UUM punya academic calendar. Okay. Alright. So ini saya kata if you unable to submit your report on the stated date yang macam Tuan Zam explain tadi, kan? So you have to submit form to CUIC. Okay, by consent of your supervisor. Jangan you simply hantar dekat CUIC, supervisor you tak tahu. Okay, usually internship punya matters ni dia tak melalui saya. Coordinator dia tak melalui coordinator, dia akan terus pada CUIC. But concerning your supervisor, your supervisor akan tahu, oh this student dah hantar TL1 a weeks before TL2. If you want to submit any form, dia kena a weeks before the end date. Okay, TL2 should submit, no, TL1 kena submit seminggu sebelum the frame of TL2 punya started date lah. So kena seminggu lebih awal. So the HA akan note dekat sistem, dia tulis you are still in the progress. Kalau you tak note you are in the TL1 ke TL2 punya status, then you punya portal tu dia akan tulis whether you ni fail ke whatsoever ke because no status. That's very important for you to isi borang cepat-cepat seminggu sebelum date tamat TL2 or TL1. Okay, dia siap-siap akan note dekat sistem. Otherwise you are floating, tak tahu kat mana dalam sistem. Okay, kita tak tahu status. Okay, TL2, when it comes to the TL2, dah habis TL2 you akan fail lah. Dia semacam thesis lah. Okay, kita bagi 2 kali. Okay, kita bagi 2 kali. Alright. Ini supervisor you akan dia akan adalah kami akan adalah borang-borangnya untuk diisi, tapi kita akan remind time to times. Okay, supervisor tu. Alright, double spacing ya. Sebelum ni saya rasa dia tulis 1.5, but I think double spacing for the report about 50 pages. Okay, kalau nak lebih tu, if you have extra pages, then you letak dalam appendix. For example, you're designing on the poster brochure kan is require pages kan. So letak your designing tu dalam appendix. So that your pages for reporting hanyalah 50 pages. Jangan letak you punya hundreds of design dalam you punya report. So your report tu will be length lah, akan jadi 100 pages because of the your table on the pre-production, production, post-production. So kalau dah lebih pages, then masukkan all the documentation on your project tu, gambar ke table report pages only Word punya ni 50 the pictures and blah 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 that pending. Itu cara kita buat report. Saya ajar saya ajar kelas ni APA. Ada student, saya ingat lagi ada student tanya saya because they are from the school kan, because some of you from diploma dia tahu lah APA itu apa. She came to me, dia tanya, Dr. Hana, APA itu siapa? Ni saya ingat lagi skrip saya mula-mula saya ajar kelas you all ni. So itulah APA. So you learn throughout the process kan. So APA is a style of writing. Alright. Font ada the slide ni saya akan bagilah insyaAllah. Font ni biasa Times New Roman size 12, this is very common. If you use Arial, if the size will be different, it will be 11. Itu dia punya cara-cara menulis dia, alright. Topik pun kena 12, subtopik pun kena 12. Okay, nak kena bold topik tu kita perlu bold. Tak perlu underline, perlu bold sahaja, alright. Font size dekat caption, if you have table point 2, point 1 size kena 10, dia tak boleh 12, dia tak sama. That's the standard academic writing. Okay. Dia main topik kena ada tulis huruf besar, capital letter, ada lower case, upper case. Okay. Main topik kena upper case. Kalau subheading kena lower case lah. Tapi masih bold. Tajuk kita mesti bold. Alright. Margin, okay, margin dia macam ni. Okay. This is the margin. You boleh lah print screen ke kan. Ini margin dia. Dia kena ikut margin because later you akan ada binding lagi. So dia require space. So you have to follow the margin. Okay. Report writing, heading and subheading. Consistent numbering tu contohnya macam ni. Introduction 1.0. Ni saya bagi contoh ni. Okay, introduction 1.0. Company background 1.1 and vision 1.1.1. Okay, product offering 1.1.2. Itu subheading. Kita guna subheading so that bila kita baca you are sequentially tunjuk you punya flow of your content. Okay, kalau bab 2 for example 2.0 introduction, 2.1 is aspect of the media technology macam tu. Okay, 2.1 on the broadcasting. 2.1.1 is on the pre-production. 2.1.2 production. 2.1.3 post-production. So you susun ikut tu lah. Alright. Ini next ABC dia kena for example if you have mission kan mission kan dia ada 1 2 3 4 dia ada 5 mission kan for example. So mission should be start with A. Mission A, mission blah blah blah. B, mission blah blah blah. C, mission. If mission they have another submission, then A should be start with one Roman. Itu sequel dalam penulisan. So you tak boleh heading yang sama you guna semua A, tak boleh lah. Bila dah guna A, the next subheading, the next subtopic kena ada one Roman. Tu the flow of numbering dalam penulisan thesis. Okay, the position of subtopic must align. Okay, sama semuanya. Regardless lah subheading you tu sampai 3 number kan, 1.1.13, dia perlu mula daripada indent yang sama, yang selari. Okay, yang sama. Dia tak boleh 1.3, you pergi buat kat tengah pula. Sampai tengah pages tu you punya teks tak boleh. Everything from margin tepi, on your left punya, left hand side margin. Okay. No indentation is needed. Tak perlu yang saya kata. Semuanya sama saja. Unless for the paragraph. Okay. First paragraph tak perlu indent, tak perlu tab. And the remaining paragraph tu perlu tab. Okay. First paragraph tu kita tak perlu buat paragraph tu. First. Second and the rest kita perlu buat lah. Alright. Spacing 1.5 I think double spacing lah. Proposal must type single spacing. That's why dia about 10 pages sebab dia single spacing. Final report adalah 1.5 so saya rasa. I think 1.5 not double spacing sebab dia 50 pages. Okay. Kalau double spacing mungkin dia 100 pages lah. Okay, wait kakak. Gini adik saya. Okay. Biasalah mak-mak ni kerja dari rumah macam ni lah jawapannya. Alright. So ada single spacing, ada dan proposal, footnote tu you jarang buat. Okay. Quotation kan, for example you interview respondent, quotation from the respondent tu you kena buat single space lah. Okay. Pun kena ada more 3 line, exceed more than 3 line, tak boleh lah 1 line dapat quotation. Quotation ni biasanya 3 to 5 line. Janganlah sampai 1 muka surat tu quotation respondent. Okay. Sebab tu maksudnya you tak analyze. Untuk analyzing make it 3 to 5 line for the quotation informant. Especially if you doing broadcasting, dia akan ada interview. So the citation from the informant tu you can cite. References, table and semua tu lah. Appendix, questionnaire tu semua dalam, when it comes to the table ni, it should be single spacing. Anything, it comes to the table, single spacing. Okay. Paging, okay. Dia semacam buat thesis lah. On the common chapter 1 to 3 tu, page yang biasa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, tu page yang biasa. Untuk in the beginning punya tu kita kena guna one Roman. 1 Romawi. On the front page, list of figures, table of content, list of figure, disclaimer, copyright itu semua you kena letak roman punya type. Okay, of numbering. Okay, table and figures. Ini if you are doing thesis, is applicable to the thesis juga format dia. Dia mungkin you terlupa macam mana nak buat thesis punya format, you can apply in term of paging, figures. Okay, tables. Table kena label sequence, in sequence. Example saya tulis kat sini, chapter 1, if you working on the chapter 1 punya, your tables kena ikut number chapter. Table 1 because it's the chapter 1. Okay, bukannya table tu ikut jumlah table yang you ada. No, you follow on the chapter of your ni. Okay, banyak sudah buat salah ni. Ibu nak so chapter, if you ada figure dalam chapter 1 should be figure 1.1 or 1. If you the next figure be figure 1.2, 1.3. Kalau chart, if the chart for the first chart for the chapter 1 should be start on the chart 1.1. Okay. Kalau graph pertama untuk chapter 1 it should be graph 1.1 because graph, chart, figures, table tu different punya ni. Okay, so it should be follow numbering according to the chapter, bukan according to the amount of your figures semua tu. Contohnya saya bagi table 2.1 because dia chapter. Saya harap you apply dalam thesis jugalah ni. Okay, adalah some of that tu applicable to the thesis. Okay. Declaration, disclaimer, dia akan ada format-format tu. Acknowledgement, okay. Mak, ayah, adik, kakak, girlfriend, boyfriend, lecturers, okay. Kena acknowledge lah. And abstract, tak boleh lebih 30 perkataan. Okay, abstract, list of table, figures and abbreviations. Okay. Chapter 1, SWOT analysis. This is the content, the pure content yang saya kata tadi, brief kan. Yang saya bagi marks distribution according to the report. So this is the report that you're going to do. Okay. Basically introduction, describe objective and important of the project. Project apa pentingnya project tu? Ceritalah dalam introduction. A brief information on how data collected. Okay, SWOT analysis. I believe that you all familiar with the SWOT analysis. Okay, macam mana data nak kutip. Okay. Alright, chapter 2 explain about the company background, organization background, ceritalah tentang everything lah, profile dia, history dia, because some of the big company they have so many info that need to be noted, need to be stated dalam you punya. Tapi janganlah sampai 20 muka surat dalam company background saja, kan? Agak-agak lah maksudnya. Okay, ada logo. If you have logo, ada figure 2.1. Okay, letaklah situ company logo. Jangan letak nombor figure saja without caption. Okay, company logo. Alright. Struktur organisasi mesti ada, nak tengok siapa. Okay, so I will see the flow of your position tu lah nak relate-nya. Right, so organizational task, staff, unit, vision tu very common. Okay, kalau dia ada product offering, cerita. Kalau dia ada service punya offering, cerita. So that we can relate your research dengan company punya oriented, business oriented. Alright, this is crucial punya chapter, issue of the study. Okay, relate to the journalism, advertising, broadcasting. Okay. For instance, student can conduct research on the factors that influence the career path of producers of radio station. Okay, for journalism, journalist and advertiser. Student also boleh apply qualitative method. Okay, if you are doing the video, usually student on the broadcasting dia akan ada this qualitative interview. Okay, to get untuk dapatkan research punya market punya data. Okay. Yang boleh menjawab research question and objective of the study. Okay, because you doing academic report practicum ni, dia more on the academic punya lah, so dia akan ada research question dan objective of the study. Lebih kurang thesis lah, right? Okay, chapter 4, this is 30 markah ni untuk chapter 4. So, baru dapat makan. Berapa dah sekarang? Alright. Kasih ambil sana. Alright. Chapter 4 is analysis. So, analysis, it will relate on your research objective. Okay, so analisis tu. Alright, so kena cerita SWOT analisis, apa kekuatan dia, apa weaknesses, opportunity, apa threat dia, so kena cerita dalam analysis and discussion. So, yeah, most of the student analysis and discussion, dia buat 2 muka surat mana cukup. Ini adalah markah yang paling banyak sekali dalam report you. Analysis and discussion, suggestion and conclusion. Dia adalah marks yang paling banyak antara komponen lain dalam report. So, kena banyaklah cerita. Banyaklah analisis tu. Okay. Bagilah contoh-contoh apa kelemahan dia dari segi apa. Okay. Contohnya most of the SME company, small medium enterprises company, they are lack of the technology. Yang tak ada yang canggih-canggih, tak ada apps yang kena bayar, tak ada. So, that's maybe one of the weaknesses. So, cerita contoh-contoh tu. Kekurangan apps apa? Cerita lah. Kan? Skill apa? Communication ke? Or skill on designing ke? So, cerita. So that nampaklah you are analysing something. So, jangan cerita very general. Okay? Jangan cerita very general. Okay. Based on the defined objective, okay, define pada objektif, okay, strength and weaknesses represent the internal factor affected on the organization, okay, opportunity, cerita tentang external punya factors. So itu yang kita nak tengok bila analisis. Bukan analisis ni dia punya markah banyak. Alright. Suggestion and conclusion, nak cerita tentang apa? Recommendation. Okay, in term of practice, apa praktis perlu buat? Let's say kalau dia kurang on the software ke apps ke kan, tapi dia tak ada duit tu, so kita suggest lah dia pergi dekat kursus mana-mana. Okay, boleh tengok dalam media sosial yang share macam-macam segala mereka knowledge on the apps, nak design video tak ada skill, so you can learn through the free YouTube whatsoever. Okay, so kita bagi cadangan lah. Okay, sebutlah very specific tu. Okay, media sosial apa? Media sosial, okay, kita YouTube ke Facebook ke cerita. So you akan lebih detail. Okay, so saya tahu when you come, okay, your future punya in term of practice, mereka kena utilize Facebook ad. Cerita lah Facebook ad. So maksudnya janganlah sebab utilize the social media. Apa dia? Mungkin dia dah ada Instagram. So you cerita utilize Facebook, cerita very detail tu. Okay. Conclusion, summary, recap the whole content of the report based on the objective of the study. So objective of the study tu apa? SWOT tu lah. So recap balik. Okay, recap balik. Bagi cadangan pada company, bagi cadangan on the future research, perlu buat apa. So kita punya cadangan. Alright, reference and appendix. So faham? Kalau you tak faham, you boleh intro je saya akan cerita. Ni saya ni based pada on the experience supervise students lah. Kita tengok apa yang sudah lemah, kita cerita dekat you. So jangan duk buat itu, jangan duk buat ini. So faham saya boleh saya boleh proceed ke dah habis dah. Boleh sambil-sambil dengan saya punya briefing, boleh sambil minum, sambil makan, apa semua you boleh buat apa saja, bukannya saya cuba pun. Kan? So you boleh buat apa saja as long as you listen dan jangan ada tanya banyak-banyak kali dah. I explain detail on the formatting, the content, the ethics and semua-semua. Okay. Alright, boleh faham? Next. Ni sini sampel-sampel tajuk-tajuk yang sudah lepas. Okay. Memang dia akan kaitkan dengan dia punya program. Kalau student tu ada student tanya saya, organisation offer dia kerja yang tak related dengan broadcasting. Kan tak related dengan dia suruh buat journalism pula, macam content creator, macam copywriting semua kan tak related tu dengan journalism. So you boleh buat one of the content in the news is video. So kita kaitkanlah, kita cuba relatekan the orientation of the journalism tu dengan broadcasting. So selari dengan sekarang ni kita dah kena multitasking punya skill. You tak boleh you are journalism, you tahu menulis saja, you tak tahu macam mana nak create video, you tak tahu macam mana nak design poster, tak boleh. You have to know everything. So if they assign you on journalism, tapi you ni advertising mana reti, kan? So you try to create content, infographic for example, related to the project lah, kan? Yeah, or poster or whatever related to the project. So you are involved advertising in punya journalism punya issue news. Okay. Alright. Nampak laporan SWOT analysis strategi promosi bergerak. Tajuk ni you can boleh discuss dengan supervisor lah, tapi inilah lebih kurangnya. Okay, video pemasaran pembiayaan amaran ini broadcasting. So dia buat macam proses biasa, dia ada pre-production and post. So dia ada semacam you buat thesis lah. Alright. Okay. Submission, hard copy. Final report kena ada soft cover certain you kena submit hard copy lah. Kalau dia nak suruh submit full soft copy, and then you have to submit soft copy. Okay, biasanya praktis sebelum ni kalau saya suruh submit hard copy, because I believe some of your area tu masih tak buka untuk binding punya kan. Ada poster state yang specific on the specific binding macam ni, some of the photocopy shop tu dia tak ada. So kita hantar dulu soft copy, bagi lecturer marking, key in markah semua, and later on bila dah settle, dah tak ada PKP, dah tak ada PKPD, they go to the print, dah boleh hantar balik dekat lecturer. Okay, kita fleksibel lah, you boleh discuss dengan supervisor. Okay, ini checklist ni saya rasa sama lah yang kalau ikut Tuan Zam share tadi, report duty tu memang ini related to the CIC juga. Ini I-form, report duty form tu semua CIC akan bagi dekat you lah, order documentation ni. Dan dari copy tu bagi dalam practical documentation. Okay. Then for logbook if not mistake dia tengok pada lecturer lah. That's why dalam kelas saya ajar wix.com. Dia ada website yang kita boleh report semua benda kan. Ataupun nak buat macam blogspot macam Tuan Zam cakap pun boleh juga. WordPress pun boleh juga. Tengok pada you punya supervisor. On the previous practice kita masih guna logbook yang biasa-biasa lah. So student boleh tulis dalam words. Tulis hari, tulis task given on the that day. Then dia report dalam words. Okay, ada on the previous tu kita kena beli. Ada yang nak beli-belilah maksudnya. Okay. Attendance form, ini semuanya daripada CIC. Okay. Employer assessment form yang nilai dia 40 marks. Okay. Ini documentation perlu ada masa nak. Ini kita panggil practical documentation ni lah dia. Inilah dokumen-dokumen yang you boleh hantar dekat CIC dan juga lecturers bila kita nak maki markah. Okay, kita akan tengok complete baru kita boleh bagi markah. You tak ada attendance form, then you tak akan ada 10 markah if you nak message for the attendance punya markah. Okay. Ini you kena concern lah, you jangan tertinggal satu because we are on the face virtual punya ni kan susah kita nak contact lah, nak apa semua, sometimes you tak tengok pergi pasar dengan mak ayah balik tengah hari kita nak kena submit markah. So things like that lah you will have to consider, kita hantar bagi semua lengkap lah. Okay. Alright. Ini important date ikut yang saya copy je tadi, yang because practical date ni berubah. So far inilah dia. Okay. Ada dalam slide yang Tuan Zam bagi. So basically kita adalah 4 bulan. Okay, 4 bulan I hope that you find the company already. Ada masih on the way nak interview, ada masih tak dapat lagi yang sesuai. So this is the time. And kita punya last date upload offer letter 12 Ogos. So kita ada lebih kurang sebulan lagi. Alright. Registration for student eligibility status, because student eligibility status ni maksudnya let's say lah you fail one of the subject, you tak boleh pergi practical. So CUIC akan release balik nama-nama bila markah dah keluar, ada a few student yang fail, so dia tak boleh pergi practicum. So you kena buat semua kursus habis, then the next on 212 punya semester, then you can go for practicum, insyaAllah. So saya haraplah kelas ni tak ada yang fail lah, because you dah tua dah dah senior, so no fail, insyaAllah semuanya boleh pergi practicum, especially thesis. Thesis ni banyak yang ketegak, tak nak hantar thesis, tak nak hantar tu, tak nak hantar ni, lambat tak buat lagi, duk fikir thesis, duk fikir informant, kan. Thesis tu lah yang crucialnya. Kalau assessment, saya rasa kursus tu dah hampir siap dah dia punya assignment tu, kan. Exam pun dah ada, some of you dah sit dah exam tu. So sekarang yang tinggal saya rasa thesis. So tak siap thesis tak boleh pergi practical kelas. Jangan main-main. So you kena siapkan. The CIC akan release lagi satu senarai nama yang eligible because you have passed all the requirement for the practical, then baru kita assign supervisor. Kalau you nak assign sekarang, you tak boleh, mana tu Kak Cik duduk kat sana. Kan, mana tahu you fail thesis ke fail some of the subject. Kalau fail tak boleh because requirement for the practical adalah you lulus semua. Unless you have specific issue, you relate dengan HEA, then you boleh buat thesis after the practicum. Ada juga macam tu, tapi that's require a lot of process. You boleh dengar suara saya tak kelas?
Baru je boleh dengar.
Ya Allah, kenapa you tak cakap? Because saya dapat notification baru sekejap saya dapat notification network problem.
10 saat macam tu je, doktor.
Okay. Because dia keluar site. Alright. So, mula praktikum kita adalah pada 27 September. Habis praktikum kita adalah right, 13 Januari. So after that you ada lebih kurang sebulan 2 untuk submit TL1 TL2 lah. Kalau tak siap lah, kalau siap-siap awal, then you settle on January 13. Okay, ni kita punya time frame. Ni before practical, inilah proses dia. Find placement, upload offer letter, kena upload, nanti orang tak tahu you dapat kat mana. Right, because UIC dia kena deal dengan company tu juga. Okay, registration for the student eligible status. Okay. During practical, start practical 13. You punya, ini kita submit form 27. Kita start practical 13. Okay. If you have facing any troubles along the way, tapi kita nak cuba elakkan, usually sudah kita so far 1% lah ataupun 0.001% yang ada masalah. Usually student kita boleh adapt. Because kita always train student kan dengan assignment banyak, multi skills. Student broadcasting boleh design, student advertising boleh buat video, so they are multitasking. So kita tak hadapi banyak masalah. Okay, tapi ada yang menghadapi masalah pun. Okay, so tak payah ada isu change placement. Okay. Yang macam some of yours tanya tadi tentang penalty 500 because dia change placement after the due. After the due, CIC kena deal dengan another company to fix the date. Company pula dia kena fix the insurance pula nak kena apply sana, apply sini. Panjang cerita, dia bukan sesenang-senang tu nak put you there. Okay, dia kena ada all the terms and condition regulation yang the company kena buat. Okay, and suddenly nak ambil student practical in the middle of semester and they need to go to apply for the insurance. And insurance bukan apply hari ni dapat hari ni, no, they require time. Finally orang dah cover, you masih lagi cari tempat praktikum. So avoid such a thing lah. Okay, alright. Okay, report duty form. Okay, slightly 13 September, 27 September, so lebih kurang 2 minggu lah after you reporting, you kena submit duty form. Maksudnya you confirm you nak praktikal kat situ. Dan praktikal habis 13 Januari. And along this adalah tarikh-tarikh TL dan ni pun kelas because of the pandemic ni sometimes date tu berubah-ubah. Okay, so kita follow. You tengok Facebook SMMTC under industrial training, dia ada link, kita akan update, Tuan Zam akan update all the info kat situ, ada yang berubah-ubah. Okay, daripada CIC punya website pun you boleh ikut. Okay, saya as a coordinator, saya akan follow CIC because basically coordinator focus on the report sahaja. Okay. Okay. As I said, kita punya most of the student media technology ni tak ada isu. Adalah few isu yang dia bergaduh dengan macam-macam you all ni. Dia bergaduh dengan employer dia. Dia pula employer. Employer tu employees. Kan? So kita tak nak jadi macam tu. Okay? Employer, boss tu hire you to do something like this. Kalau tak tahu, cakap I will try and learn through YouTube. Jangan cakap, oh saya tak nak buat sebelum ni. Benda-benda macam tu yang membuatkan orang marah tu. Kan? Memanglah, Dr. Hana tak ajar pun macam mana nak guna Photoshop lah, whatsoever ni, apps tak pernah ajar. Saya tak reti buat ni bos. Jangan cakap tak reti, cakap saya tak nak buat tapi saya belajar. Saya try. Akan belajar through all the videos lah. Ada, there is a certain student yang dia mengambil masa about 6 months to settle down. Maksudnya orang dah siap, dia baru mula praktikal. Macam tu. So dia akan menyebabkan masalah macam-macam lah. Koordinator kena buat laporan, CIC kena buat laporan, tu dia akan membebankan lecturer lah, benda-benda macam ni. So there is ada kes-kes kita yang macam ni. Okay. Dia nak ikut kepala dia saja. Kan, ni orang cakap, orang Kedah kata ni, dia nak ikut terhadap dia saja. When you go to the company, you are working, you know, you bekerja. Because and they entitled to give you marks of your performance. So you nak buat apa? You tak boleh besar kepala. So there is intern dues. Okay, so there is two things that you have to concern when it comes to the practicum. You kena adapt and flexibility. Okay, adapt dengan suasana kerja, flexible. Okay, kita tak boleh, tak boleh ni, tak boleh tu, tak boleh tu tak flexible, tak transparent. Okay, so flexible works, kita kena open to the new trend. Because when you come to the kerja, you have to follow the rule from the company. Okay, tak boleh nak bangun pukul 9 pagi, nak tidur pukul 2, esok bangun nak betul. So you have to open yourself to the new trend of style of working. Task need to be submitted, ada due, you kena kerja. Okay, so jangan rigid dalam thought. Yang ni saya kata ni, tak boleh kata tak tahu. Saya tak boleh cakap dekat public lah, I cannot speak in public lah. Tak salah you buat salah. Okay, because you tak tahu macam mana nak speak English, you tak confident enough, especially if you're working on the marketing punya position kan, you have to confident kan, tak boleh. Saya rasa, I think, so you have to be confident. So try to improve. Okay, jangan cakap tak tahu, tak pernah ajar, tak pernah expose, tak boleh. So inflexible. Okay, kita kata we try. Yeah, let's try. Okay, adjusting the situation because when you come to the job, you ada the due. Dia ada quality need to be fixed. Quality dia ada due, dia ada order from the supervisor. Kan? Dapat pula supervisor yang jenis mudi, hari ni bagus, esok tak bagus, lusa bagus ni. Dapat yang mudi kan. So kita kena adjust the situation. Tengok-tengok macam dia mudi, kita pun janganlah menjawab banyak sangat. Kita slow down, zip kita punya mulut tu sikit. Kita adjust dengan situation. Okay. Some other things, some of you, dia ada practicum dekat most of them are Malay and you are Chinese or Indian. So kita kena adjust lah situation kita tu. Janganlah kita rigid sangat kan. some of you are Malay and position most of the Chinese and Indians punya employer. So you have to adapt lah. Okay, you kena adjust the situation. Okay, effective problem solving. Maksudnya, kalau tak ada plan A, what is your plan B? Ini related to your project. Kan? You kata, oh tak boleh pergi because PKP, PKPD lah whatsoever. Okay, we have plan B. Bos saya ada plan B. Kita boleh solve. Okay, effective problem solving. Oh, plan B tak jadi. We have another plan C. Sampai ke Z, Z.1, Z.2. We have so many plans. So, itu maksudnya your capability in solving the problems. Problem related to your project. Okay, negotiation skill. Of course, if you are on the marketing punya students, most of the students are reporting to the marketing punya department. Insurance, yeah. Even if you are on the graphic design or graphic design, usually you will go for the marketing because mereka nak tengok how confident communication, how you are able to solve the problem. Marketing dealing with customer kan? That's the crucial part of the company. Company always consumer, always right. So negotiation skill. Work under pressure because if you entitled for the good company, because I believe my student previously dia report dekat company yang memang fast growth company. Company tu memang laju. So dia dapat banyak anugerah-anugerah company tu. So memang pressure lah because dia internship dan dia tak tahu lagi banyak benda, the culture, the employees, perangai orang ni, perangai orang ni, dia tak tahu. So tapi they are able to adapt dengan pressures. Dia boleh buat. Okay, so you have bear in mind if you work in the good company, mereka akan ada so many project. Tengah-tengah buat project ni, and suddenly, oh you buat ni. Itu work on pressure. Okay, sedangkan your project, they have a deal for this and suddenly come in the middle, you have to complete this project first. So kita kena able to manage the pressure ni lah, the stress. Able to listen, jangan ketegak sangat. Ingat markah dia bagi, kan. So, able to listen, able to communicate, kan. Kita janganlah, memanglah some certain knowledge kita well enough lah, well skilled. Kita tahu. Tapi kita janganlah berlagak kata kita tahu. Okay, kita tunjuk semacam kita tak tahu because maybe from their knowledge to we gain some knowledge to add in our knowledge. Okay, because bila kita dengar kita akan banyak belajar. Alright, acknowledge other view juga, jangan short sendiri. Oh projek ni aku buat seorang tak boleh lah. Okay, you work in team, you work dalam pasukan, so you have to acknowledge others. Okay, acknowledge supervisor. You kena apa panggil dalam bahasa Kedah ni apa kan? You kena kipas sikit supervisor tu. 60 markah dia bagi tau. Alright, so kena, tapi janganlah tak kipas sampai dia lemah. Okay, pandai-pandai. Okay, Allah expanding yourself. Okay, expanding yourself maksudnya jangan pergi, oh if you are design on the grafik saja. Okay, if you are entitled for the marketing saja, try to go to the HR ke, join activities ke, okay. Jadi orang yang apa bagi ideas yang bagus pada company. Alright, to flexible. We have to be flexible. Alright, another one is adaptability. Kena adapt lah. Establish alternative solution. Contohnya, so you establish macam saya kata tadi, we have to have, because you work out, usually company akan assign you one project ni. Project is managed by you, supervised by company. So if you manage project ni, you carilah dalam tajuk project management punya kursus, dia akan ada stages yang you perlu buat. So some of the stages tu tak semua berjaya, tak seperti yang kita manage, tak seperti yang kita nak. Kita kata okay, within 2 weeks duration kita manage market analysis. Tak sebegitu, nak market analysis macam mana? Dekat jalan Tunku Abdul Rahman pun tak ada orang, contohnya lah. Okay. Dekat Alostar Ahmad Saidra pun tak ada orang. Okay, so we have to, because we have so many alternative lah. Okay. Make easy translation, of course lah, especially if you come to the one more thing, you dari belajar ke kerja, another transition. Okay, when you come to the transition, you from the marketing department and suddenly go to the HR department, so that's another transition. Facing new stuff kan, new rules kan, new culture, so kita boleh adapt dengan cepat. Okay, tenang, jangan confident dong. Saya kata jangan confident, jangan tenang-tenang, jangan gabra-gabra. Okay, manage yourself lah. Okay, acquire new skills. For example, I believe most of my student media technology ada media technology skills. Designing tu orang kata kacang je kan. Because lecturer always ajar you macam mana nak copywriting, content designing, video semua tu. Itu kacang saja. Acquire new skill. For example, communication skill, negotiation skill, persuading skill. Acquire that personal skill. Kalau kat sini you nak ketegak saja ikut kepala you je. So bila comes to the practical, you acquire how to be adapt in the new culture. Okay, diversify your knowledge. Knowledge tak semestinya knowledge on the you punya project. Knowledge in everything, in relationship, in culture, in the company, in everything. So bila you habis practical, you learn something, you get some knowledge from it. Maybe dealing with the customer, kan? Customer ni macam-macam because they pay for this, for your designing, for your everything, for your services they pay. So they need that standard. So you kena work for that lah. Itu yang akan mencipta stress tu. Okay, stress buka Facebook, tengok TikTok lah whatsoever kan. Nak pergi amal tak boleh, nak dating pun tak boleh. Paling-paling tidak menghadap mak ayah aja. Kan, so we have so many virtual run lah whatsoever untuk ni. Okay, in the beginning most of you are stressed lah because you are facing new things that you have to align. Dah lah umur ni dah 23, 24 dah tua dah agak-agak kan. Dah boleh kahwin dah. Dan tiba-tiba nak pergi ke practical pula. Nak adapt dengan new cultures. Kan, nak adapt dengan orang yang perangai macam-macam. Okay, so you have to know the flexible and adaptability dekat tempat kerja. So tak nak jadi macam sini-sini. Ada a few student yang sini lepas macam ni lah. Dia kata alasannya employer tu bagi kerja yang tidak sesuai dengan program yang dia belajar di UUM. Okay, contohnya employer tu bagi suruh dia email dekat customer. Email, dia bagi template, okay, you email dekat ni sana untuk dia punya targeted customer, email untuk mereka buat promotion. Memang lecturer tak ajar macam mana nak email. Kan? Ada saya ajar macam mana nak email? Tak ada kan? Saya tak ajar macam mana nak email. Ada saya ajar macam mana nak tulis dalam email. Tak ada, saya tak ajar benda macam tu. Tapi you learn throughout the process of during the UUM punya ni. And then dia cakap lecturer suruh cuci toilet tiap-tiap hari. That's not the rule lah. Dia ada main rule lah when you assign to the company. Ada satunya yang mungkin you akan designing. Itu memang rule yang you kena buat hari-hari. Tapi aside punya rule adalah you kena cuci lantai, sapu lantai, make sure tidy semua kan. Dia kata saya tak boleh. This ada isu ni kelas. You jangan saja saya cakap. Okay, lecturer suruh cuci lantai, bagi bersih kawasan office dia. So dia tak nak, dia belagas. Bila employers jadi case macam ni, employers nak saman UUM lah, macam-macam lah dia akan panjang cerita. Okay, bila kita telefon employers tu memang marah lah, kan, because mereka in order for them to collaborate dengan UUM, they have to make such banyak documentation lah. And suddenly you buat perangai macam ni, tak nak ni, tak nak tu, tak boleh ni. Okay, so itu face to face lah. Okay, I'm sure that if you choose the virtual punya practical, there will be no problem on cuci toilet dah whatever tu. But you try to improve companies punya performance, skills. usually company SME, usually you are reporting on the SME, usually they are lack of digital skills because mereka ni mereka tak ada masa nak belajar. So if you been reporting on that company, you just buat infografik macam mana nak buat video ke, kan? Itu yang mereka nak tu. Mereka bukan tak nak ni, mereka tak ada masa. Mereka focus on the business. So they hire you to give a simplified task for them. Ada soalan tak? So when you go for that practical, itu bukan nak cari yang successful for class. You left your footprint, your marks with the valuable memory for them. Okay. If I share my previous punya student practical, saya lupa nama dia, dari Sarawak. And she was reporting on the quite big apparel punya in the company, well known lah, agak well known. And that employer merayu dia, begging, persuade her to work in that company. Sampai sebegitu sekali ya. Dia dari Sarawak, the company nak sponsor dia. Saya lupa nama dia siapa, last saya punya student. Nak bagi rumah untuk dia kerja dekat company because according to the employer, dia bagi melebihi over than the standard punya company tu. Company tu minta 1, dia buat 10, for example. Things like that lah. And when I talk to the employer, because lecturer kan kena call employer, the employer tu kata she works very tremendously good, excellent, very excellent student in terms of everything. Perangai, skills of attention, and then blah blah blah. So left the valuable memory to them so that they will hire you to the company, and inshallah success will meet you on the practical punya base. So ada soalan tak kelas? Ada soalan? Sebelah pukul 12.